What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we have to update that Gotham Knights DLC rumor with an asterisk on it's going to happen. Now, obviously, they haven't officially confirmed this. When they do confirm it, I'll probably make a third video, end the trilogy, talking about that it's official. But we have trophies / achievements, whatever you really want to say. They were leaked, and so it's absolutely happening. It actually came from Batman Arkham Videos. Now, here's the thing. Warner Bros. With leaks, I really don't actually know if I'm allowed to show it. I mean, people are showing it over on Twitter. But basically, it's just going to be redesigned boss fights. That is the main part of the DLC. So you got a new Mr. Freeze boss fight at Blackgate Penitentiary. You have a new one with Clayface. It's called Surf the Sewers and Sabotage Clayface's Masterpiece. You got a new one with Harley, Stop Harley Quinn's Spectacular Siege at Star Labs. Then we have three new ones, I guess, outside of those, the three villains, which is defeat 75 supercharged criminals, defeat each of Gotham's most wanted present during the Kelvin incident, and then break supercharged criminals 50 times using elemental effect weaknesses. So 6 trophies in all. 3 are tied to, again, redesigned boss fights, and then supercharged criminals, so maybe like elite level enemies, right? Now, this is going to have, I think, some divisiveness in the community. I've already seen it over on Twitter. Again, I think when it's officially announced, then even more people are going to kind of weigh in. I will say, honestly, I'm not mad. I'm not, full of joy. I'm kind of right down the middle with this. It's not the DLC I would have done, you know what I mean? But at the same time, to be honest, in yesterday's video, when I talked about, well, you think about the teams moving on, right? We don't even know who's making, well, obviously it's WB Montreal, but we don't know what kind of skeleton crew from the team that made Gotham Knights, because we know largely that team has moved on to another game. So, I had literally said that yesterday. It does make sense. Like a DLC like this where it's literally just some redesigned boss fights, same bosses. Now, it's going to further drive home, can you really only have 3? You really could only have made Clayface, Harley, and Mr. Freeze. Those were the only 3 villains you could have done. And even in DLC, you can't do more of them. That is definitely going to be a talking point. I think that's honestly valid. But I can see both sides, right? I can see that. I think that's a very understandable side to stand on. But at the same time, if it's 15 people working on this, we don't actually know how many people are working on this thing. It makes sense for most likely the skeleton crew that's still going on. I will say this, though. Let me throw this in here. I feel like this means the game was rather successful because, we've talked about it as this game came out. And you can look at the Steam database numbers, so you can see the path it took of players and drop-offs and all that. But I just feel like, you didn't have to do this. You didn't have to do DLC. Now, I'm not saying we have to bow down to them because our gaming gods gave us DLC, so we need to be grateful. I'm not saying that at all, especially because we don't even know if this is paid DLC or if it's free. I feel like it's going to be free, but that is not confirmed, and ultimately we do not know that. I assume we'll find that out in the next day or two. I can't imagine they let this go into next week. But, you didn't have to make DLC, period. No matter if you view this DLC as not enough, whatever you want to say about it, it still didn't need to happen. We're so far removed, and I guess not that far, but we're far enough from when the game came out that the game could have just been dropped. You didn't have to do, anything after it. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm making a talking point out of nothing or, kind of creating one on the spot, but I feel like it probably did relatively well, and they're looking at it as, hey, this is a way to, get more people on. I guess you could look at it as maybe they see that they had a bunch of people and they all completely fell off, and so they think by doing DLC it brings people back. But this isn't the kind of game where you need that. Does that make sense? This isn't a game that you say, oh my god, the player numbers are down 6 months later, we need to get them back up because in another 6 months we're gonna have another DLC. We want this game to be around for years. Remember, the live service elements of this game were largely stripped out. You could see that when playing the game. So I don't think, myself personally, I don't think that's the reason why they're doing this. I personally believe it's just to give us more stuff. And again, maybe it was successful. Maybe they want extra sales around the springtime, whatever it is. But I feel like it probably comes from a place of success rather than, oh dear God, like we need people back. Because why would you need people back, right? The game isn't meant for that. It's been far enough, removed from the launch that it doesn't really matter. So that's how I'm looking at it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. Like I said, I'm sure we'll do the trilogy, the third in this series of videos, when they formally announce it. And I hope to see you guys there.